Hey everybody, Whip here and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today we're briefly starting out in my survival world. Today we're actually going to be doing another tutorial video. I know, we're doing another one. Today is going to be a build from my survival world. However, we are going to be doing this awesome little starter house back here. It's a very plain Jane interior space on this main area, but what I really love about it, it has this tower attached on the back of it and an extra little bit of a storage room back here. So you could have a bunch of stuff back in this spot. You have a little bit of a tower you can jump up to look around the town, you know, through these fences that we can see through so easily. But I just think it is such a sweet little build. It's something really easy to put together because all you really need is dark oak wood, and then you go mining for a bunch of random stones and we stack them all together. So I think it's a perfect starter house. But without any further ado, let's get into it. All right, for this build here, we're going to see if we can do this thing in just one take. So we're going to be starting out by creating one and then bring this over so it's 5 wide, right like that. So we have that 3 wide interior space. Then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Bringing this one over back like this, roughly for now, just go ahead and fill this all in. So we have a 9 long and 5 wide box. Then come over to this side, or first and foremost, let's throw in our door. So our main doorway is going to be right through here. Let's just throw a block of cobblestone down there at the base. Main doorway is going to be that guy right over in there. However, on this back side where we have the little bit of storage barn, go ahead and count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring this out 3 blocks right here. Our other doorway is going to be right in here, just like this one. And then for this one, you can just bring this thing all the way back. And that is our base shape of this house right here. So you have a 3 by 2, and this one you have 7 by 3 over on this side right here. Now for this one, what we want to do next is take some polished andesite and plop these on all of the different corners here, including that little spot right in there. Then after this one, let's just go ahead and grab some andesite and bring this all the way around in here. We're going to go with a bit of a smoothing effect for a lot of the structure bits that we're going to be using for this. So what I like to personally do is just do cobblestone, andesite, and then we're going to do a whole strip of stone on top of this one right after that, because this will be the easiest way we can kind of mix it up. We have the different layers for the blocks. After this, we go through and just kind of blend them in here together. One thing that I really like to stress is making sure that we blend a lot of the builds in together to make it look all nice. Now, to make sure you have your roof done correctly, go ahead and throw an upside down stair right here. Go ahead and throw a slab, do another slab, do a double slab, bring it out one, slab on top, and then this should just line you up perfectly coming all the way back down using those upside down stairs 1 block in from the end. But that'll just be kind of the way that we know that we are in the right spot here. Another thing we can do on this front side is go ahead and break that block out right below this one and go ahead and throw a fence in there to be a bit of a window. Now let's talk about how we can add some variation to the textures for this one. Maybe we bring that down, maybe we bring you up a little bit right there. And I personally like to leave it as like a little bit less cobblestone on these builds. I just find cobblestone to be such a busy texture, and I like things to be a little bit cleaner. What I would say above the doorways, if you want to make it look a little bit more fortified, so it's not just stones piled up on each other, add in a polished andesite like we had there. So let's go ahead and do that above both of the doorways. Then coming back over to this side, we can just mix up the textures just a little bit here and there, mixing in a few things as we go. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. This can be totally randomized as we're moving throughout this one. There's no rhyme or reason to kind of where I'm placing these right now. It's just trying to mix it up so it's not just totally boring. I would say limit the amount of times you're bringing the stone all the way down to the base, like all the way to the bottom, because that can look a little off when it's supposed to be your top block. So maybe just look like it's stretching down a little bit here and there. And a good rule of thumb is wherever you bring a stone down, bring an andesite down below that, and then that can kind of help smooth things out from there. But this is kind of the general rule that we need to do. Piling up 1 more stone on this backside, adding in another upside down dark oak stair, we can start to bring in this whole roof structure right through here, stacking those ones up, moving it right like this. And then this spot right here, you can actually just leave that blank for now, because remember, we're going to be building up that tower off of the back side. But what we want to do in here now is just bring all of these different guys in here all the way together, bring in all of the different shapes in, all of the different lines, and it should create a very cool atmosphere for ourselves, just kind of getting everything crammed in here together. So this is kind of the general idea that we want to go with. These guys over here on this side too, we do want to do the same thing for them for this roof design. As you can see, it looks a little weird having those so close together. So on these shorter roofs, I like to just keep it full slab. Then coming in here, we can do this whole thing. and that would be bringing us out right there. Stack up a stone block on top of this one, bring that out, and then go ahead and just double slab those. So it looks like the roofs are kind of conjoining right near this point. And then we can bring this one all the way back here. Now, if you'll remember correctly, on the build that we did, we had actually had the ladder was going up right through a little circle right like this. So we're going to go ahead and just keep this same circle idea right here. This one, we're going to bring it up, let's say 1, 2, and then let's go 1, 2, 3. What I like to do is kind of off of the top of this point, bring it up 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's bring this up one more block from there. And then we can kind of make it look so you could have a block here and a block there, and that'll be pretty good. And then we could have our windows stretching around through here, and so we can kind of just wrap around these windows. I like having the 2 tall windows on the structure because I think it gives it a little bit more height variation to it. And I think it's a really cool look for it in the end. But now that we have that rough idea for the structure in there, go ahead and just finish this wall in so it doesn't make that structure appear like it's floating too much. It can look a little weird there sometimes. And these ones here in the back, go ahead and just kind of bring them all in here together. I would say don't do something like that because then it looks a little weird. So maybe we just finish this one off to right there so it looks a little bit more consistent than ending with that block where these kind of merge in together is a little off to me. Now for the structure that we have up here, what you want to do is start bringing a little bit of that andesite, mixing it in here so that this taller structure isn't just all stone, because then it can look a little boring after a while. So maybe bringing a little bit of the andesite up here way towards the top. What I did inside of my texture pack or inside of my own world was I added in a little bit of polished diorite as well. But inside of vanilla, that could be a little too whitewashed for what you're going for. And so I would say maybe just do the andesite instead. What you can do inside of here is bringing in a lot of these little trapdoors and things to make it look like some shutters. Helps to also break up a lot of the texture that we had up here with the consistency of just being stone, adding in that wooden accent to help break it up a little bit more. Now for the next part, we can go ahead and tackle the top structure for this one. Go ahead and bring in some dark oak stairs right around here and just bringing them in just 2, 1 on each corner on every single one of the sides. And then you can just do some dark oak slabs here in the middle. This is going to help to kind of start stacking up this peaked bit of a roof design that we're going to go for. Then do some full blocks there on the corners as well. What you want to do here on the corners or on the middle blocks, do the full blocks on the corners, grab some stairs, and make sure these are both facing towards the same center. So you're not doing like something like this. That just can look a little weird and might more like a Beyblade than anything. So we probably want to avoid that. After you're at this layer though, that second layer is in, go ahead and bring on top of the full blocks, bring in some more stairs, stack those up, and then in the middle, bring up a full block and a full block right here. And then we can go ahead and grab our dark oak fence and extend this up 2 blocks, and it gives it a nice little bit of a point to it. But that is more or less the entire structure from there. What we can add on top of these is bring in some dark oak leaves, maybe some azure bluets, and let's grab a flower pot for ourselves. One detail that I absolutely love adding into my world is just little bits of greenery hanging off all of the different windows designs. So maybe this one right here can stretch all the way down. And then we bring in a flower pot with an azure bluet inside of it. Some reason, like the little flower pot sitting on top of leaves, for me, I absolutely love it. And that's a cool way to add some extra little bits of detail into this one. If you want to, what I did inside of my own world here as well, just to help break things up, go ahead and grab some crafting tables, some spruce trapdoors, and in this case, let's grab some barrels as well. And you can grab a few chests if you'd like to as well. And then on here, what we did is a crafting table and a barrel. And you can do a trapdoor and a trapdoor right there. It makes it look like you got a little bit of a workstation going on. And then maybe on this side, we make it look a little bit like they're gathering some goods over here. And so we add a few more of these guys and just something like this. And it makes it look like we've got some piles of goods around here. And then the back door back here, maybe we add in a few more little guys right like that as well. Maybe not quite that big. Maybe we just do the one, because then we don't want to fully block off the entrance back into here. But of course, we also need a few little torches. So maybe we do a torch right over at that one. And then we can also do a torch right here to keep ourselves alive when we are coming out of the front of our house. But let's go ahead and get back into the world and look at the interior here. I think we did a pretty good job of the rendition inside of the tutorial world for this one. It's pretty much exactly the same. The one thing I did forget is I like to do these little oak trapdoors right above those ones right there. And then also on the sides, if you have the ability to, bring in some fences underneath where the stairs are, and that's a great way of connecting it up. Obviously, if it's interrupting something or would be blocking a doorway, maybe leave them out, but it's a good way to add some more wooden accents and help break up the consistency of the stone along these builds. But coming into the interior of this one, let's take a little bit of a longer look at it. We have our bedroom right up here on the side. I like to raise this up into its own loft so we have some more storage space below it, because then we can fit in a chest and a barrel down here and a grindstone if you need to remove some enchantments off of your gear. Then over here, we've got just a bookshelf, a few more barrels for storage, another barrel for storage, and you got a spot for a furnace so you can cook up some food. And of course, you need your sea pickles in every single one of your homes. But I added this as a little bit of a dividing wall. So you walk in here, and it makes it feel like there's a room here, and then there's another open concept room over here. And then also using a little bit of the dividing wall being these oak trapdoors over the top where you can still see into the bedroom, but it helps make it feel more removed. So I guess this is cool, like modernized loft interior space in a medieval home, which I think is a pretty cool idea. I gotta say, if I wanted to have a cool apartment to myself, a loft apartment would definitely be the way I'd go. Coming into the back though, here's just a very open storage room, though I was only able to do a chest right here and then a chest down here. You could do a double chest if you wanted to in that spot and probably get a little bit easier access to storage stuff. But what I did over here, because we have this building going all the way up with our ladder into the tower bit, it was a little hard to get another chest in here because, you know, there's a stone block right above us, so you could not open that chest. But anyways, that's going to have to do it for today's episode. I hope y'all did enjoy this quick little tutorial video. Please be sure to hit that like button down below. Any other houses or things inside of the series that you want to see a quick tutorial on, let me know down in the comments below. And anyways, on that one, I will catch you all on the flip side.